games will be in browser for the most part, so in mobile they will be mobile web application. And I would also like to make an example from our own experience as a Jet Media, not only publishes and distributes social games by different developers on dozens of social networks all over the world with great success. We also advise to developers we cooperate with to make integrated products both for classical web and mobile phones, and we are developing the mobile social game service very actively. One of the titles we launched is City Gang. It's now one of the most profitable and widespread games in our portfolio. It is already published on 15 social networks. We also launched a mobile version of City Gangs on mobile version of 2 of these networks. And we attribute the success of City Gangs to its availability in mobile version. What's very important for us is to provide connection between users, web and mobile consoles, that a person could keep all his achievements while playing it under the same account via both his mobile phone and computer. At the same time, mobile version in large game session. Moreover, and City Games is a great example of how they increase payment too. So if we take Russia, first we publish City Games on 2 social networks, Одноклассники and Moimir, and then launch its mobile version of this network's mobile website. After that, we saw that the audience increased for 20%, and that were exactly new users playing in the game only from their mobile phones. The most exciting thing is that this 20% made 30% growth in total payment coming from the game. So we can see that first of all, the mobile version brought more new people to the game, and these people start paying more than users visiting the conventional web version. This is very important. There are also some share of players using both phones and computers to play City Games. In this regard, one of our more important goals as publisher is to supply all the key games in our portfolio with mobile version, and we expect to do that during 2 years. Jet Media is not only one concerned with question how to go mobile, but we are one of few who have already answered this question for themselves. It's necessary to focus on browser-based model of the social games performance to stay on better position within the future social games market. Social games industry professionals should decide today on how to act under circumstances of the internet mobilization. Actually, I see just one way which is to enter developing markets of social games as soon as possible to win more comfortable and signifying position there. At the same time, we all need to understand that experiments with platform-specific applications are not profitable on the social games market. This market will be at that place where social networks will be. This market will have such a shape of and features which social games will have. By the way, at the present, almost every self-respective social network considers itself to be obligated to offer anything for mobile internet users. There are 2 basic directions. Many of them use, some of them make separate applications adapted to certain mobile terminals. For example, let's take Facebook and its application for iPhone and Android. But most of social networks are launching their mobile version that are web version adapted to mobile terminals. For example, Russian Одноклассники and ВКонтакте and prominent and especially popular among the European use NetLog to do that. Social networks are also in the area of experiments. However, we all need to get the cost of mobile platform-specific application porting will not decrease. And finally, they will be transformed to adapt mobile web browsers application. Social networks are web services by nature. That's why they will merely stay in the environment, which is classical internet, that will be available via any mobile terminal in the near future. With regard to development of technologies and other indicators, we can support that not all countries will reach the stage when mass mobile terminals will be extremely similar to computers in terms of power characteristics. The Japanese market is almost at this stage. The USA will have been by 2011 and 2012, and next come Europe and Russia. Thank you for your attention. I hope our views on the future of mobile internet and social games in the mobile sphere have been useful or at least interesting for you. If you have any question, here is some contact information of this slide. Anyway, thank you, and you can ask me or somewhere around after the presentation. Thank you a lot. So, do you have any questions?
Hi. Hello? Hi. Hi, Zelina. It was a very nice presentation for all of us out here, especially getting a global perspective of what's happening. My name is Srini from India Games. Specifically, just to highlight on, you said the mobile web browser and the PC web browser are literally going to look similar for the games as the games you keep building on. What kind of technologies do you think will run underneath it? Will it be HTML5, or do you think we'll have to take it across multiple web browsers as you come in Opera, Mozilla, different things what will come in? What do you think? What do you think how it's going to go ahead?
I think all of them will come to the same stage.
So what are your roadmaps for HTML5? Do you think it's going to really be the underlying layer for allowing this the porting cost and everything to be lesser?
You know, it's big answer. So can we meet after conference, after this, after that, and I will talk with you in detail. Okay?
Sure. Thank you.
Hey. Hey Zarina, I'm Swami. Which is the largest social network site in Russia?
Three networks: Одноклассники, Mail.ru, and ВКонтакте, vk.com. They are very popular in Russia.
How many users they have?
Users? In total, about 45 million users they have.
Okay. And what type of social games are popular?
What kind of social games are popular in Russia?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it's farmer game, fishing game, and mafia games. But right now, Russian social games is looking for new type of the game. But right now, it's farm game, fish game, and fishing and mafia games.
Sarita, the browser-based games that you have mentioned, do you think that they will be language and culture based. In other words, some games may be very popular in Russia, but people in other countries may not. So do you think that the developments that you are talking about will be local? In other words, it will not be international game, but there will be games for Japan, some game maybe for Russia. So do you think that is going to happen when these browser games develop?
You know, maybe we're social games publisher, so we took different games in different countries. For example, we took farmer game Happy Harvest in China and published in Europe and in Russia, and it's get really popular. So and not just only Happy Harvest, we took another Chinese developers game. So it's very popular in Europe and China, and there's no any cultural difference.
Okay, okay.
Hi, my name is Kingsley from Digital Chocolate. What kind of monetization methods do people use in Russia? Like is PayPal or credit card or prepaid cards or retail cards? How do people pay for microtransactions?
SMS.
SMS, premium SMS.
80% of users paying through SMS.
Wow, great. So premium SMS billing.
Yes.
Okay. What does the carrier take on that? What percentage does the carrier take?
What did you give me?
How much of the money does the telecom network take?
50%.
50%.
Yes.
Yes.
Any more questions? Would you like to add some?
No, thank you for your paying attention. If you have any questions, we can meet and discuss it later. So, bye.
All right, so